All right, are we recording? We got green lights across the board.
Yes.
Red lights.
Red lights, not green lights.
I don't know what a green light would mean.
It's on fire.
Right above the door out there.
Yeah.
We're recording.
Blinking red light.
Pink Panther. When the light is red, they're recording.
Oh, Pink Panther. All right, welcome back to our podcast, Redeemed. Hope your guys' day is going well. We are continuing on looking at Samson. We've done a couple podcasts on him already.
There's a lot to dig in there.
Yep, there is. And now we're going to move on to probably the most famous part of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because when you think of Samson, you immediately think of
Delilah.
And the hair.
And the hair. Yep, absolutely. So up until this point, you know, we've followed Samson along, and we've seen him make some mistakes.
A couple.
You know, and about the only thing he hasn't done up to this point is cut his hair. Okay. Well, as good old Samson does, he fell in love.
He did.
With a woman. Mm-hmm. No, not just any woman. It was a Philistine.
It was a Philistine woman.
Which I don't quite understand that. It's like these are the people you hate, and yet he keeps going back to these women. I mean, this is the second one.
I'll say this is round 2, Samson. Remember round 1 when you got really upset and then you lit a bunch of foxes on fire and set them off? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You forget about that?
Yeah. And I mean, and if you back up there, this is chapter 16. If you back up a little bit, I mean, one day Samson went to Gaza where he saw a prostitute. He went in to spend the night with her. The people of Gaza were told Samson is here, so they surrounded the place, laid in wait for him all night at the city gate. They made no move during the night, and saying at dawn we'll kill him. But Samson lay there only until the middle of the night.
Yep.
So he's outsmarted him. Then he got up, he took hold of the doors of the city and of the city gate, together with a 2-post, and he tore them loose, bar and all. He lifted them to his shoulders and carried them to the top of the hill that faces Hebron.
Literally just ripped down the city gate.
Yeah.
Your city no longer has a gate.
Yeah. I imagine it. He didn't even stop. No. Just on his way out and then just kept going.
I'm going to take these with me.
Hulk smash.
Yeah.
You know. Then sometimes later, here we go. He fell in love with a woman. Her name was Delilah. Now, the Philistines are going to try to use Delilah to figure out Samson's secret.
This guy, we just can't get him.
Yeah, no matter what they do, he always in some way outsmarts them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Delilah says to Samson, "Tell me the secret of your great strength and how you can be tied up and subdued." Samson answered her, "If anyone ties me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dry, I will become as weak as any other man."
Did he think that's a weird question for her to ask me?
Clearly not.
Or what's even weirder is that she's going to do it.
Yeah. Like, it gets weirder, but, just from the very beginning,
I think he liked the challenge.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, well, although I don't think he knew it was a challenge.
I mean, really, this part of the story has always kind of...
It's confusing to me.
Confusing to me, too.
Although I do wonder how smart Samson truly was. Maybe he was just...
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he was just a big, strong ox.
I don't know. We'll find out when we get to heaven, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy was a flipping rocket scientist. I don't know.
I don't know. But he definitely has some lapse in judgment. Let's just put it that way.
Correct.
So anyway, so it's the 7 fresh bowstrings. So she ties him up, says, "Oh, the Philistines are upon you," and snap, breaks him. And of course, then she threw.
Yeah. So then she loses her mind. Yeah. You made a fool of me. It's like, hold up. How are you the victim here, woman?
Mm-hmm. And then he says, "Okay, if anyone ties me securely with new ropes that have never been used, I'll become as weak as any other man." So what does she do? She ties him with new ropes.
Yep.
Once again, the Philistines are upon you. Snap. And then she loses it again.
Yeah.
You made a fool of me. I mean, we're going
Samson
round and round.
just keeps messing with her.
Yeah. And then so she keeps going, and so
it just continues.
Yeah. So he gives her another one. "If you weave the 7 braids of my head into the fabric on the loom and tighten it with the pin, I'll become weak as another man." So what does she do? She does it
while he was sleeping.
Yeah.
Again, he doesn't find this weird at all.
I would. I mean,
I don't get Samson.
And then once
Question
again,
his judgment.
yeah. And then once again, the Philistines are upon you. He breaks it. Now this thing just keeps going. And eventually she nags him so much that he finally gives her the secret, which still in my mind makes absolutely no sense because she has tried every one you've told her.
So why would she not try this one?
So why would she not try this one?
It's a great point. You should have been there.
And maybe...
That's fair.
And maybe being in that moment, I would have done the same thing.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Scared to leave you alone.
I don't know.
Well, she hit him with, how can you say I love you when you won't confide in me?
If you really loved me, you would tell me.
She hit him with that one.
I've never heard that one before. Right?
So he was,
It's like, fine.
hey, fine, jeez Louise. Even though you've tried to kill me 4 times now.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the Philistines were in the room.
No. Doesn't say so.
I think
one of the times.
Well, yes, this last time they were because she figured out that he was telling the truth. I think they were there, but I'm not sure they charged in, right?
So Delilah took new ropes, tied him with them. Then, with men hidden in the room, she called to him, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. Doesn't say if they came out or not, but they were definitely in the room.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were there, but I think...
Correct. I don't think that they actually ran out until...
the last one.
Mm-hmm.
And so he finally tells her. She cuts his hair, of course, and his strength leaves. The funny part is he didn't even know it left. So she says the Philistines are upon him, and this time they were, and he thinks, I'll get away as I have before.
Nope.
And no can do.
But it says right here, but he did not know that the Lord had left him.
Lord had left him.
That's tough.
Yeah. It's not what you want.
And then it's really tough because then the Philistines seized him, gouged out his eyes, and took him down to Gaza.
Yep.
Ugh, that's so harsh.
What a day.
Ugh.
Well, I'm sure they had a lot of pent-up aggression against him.
I'm sure they did too.
Yeah, I mean, he did wipe out a lot of them.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
But, fun little caveat. So they bind him with bronze shackles. They set him to grinding grain in the prison.
Mm-hmm.
But the hair on his head began to grow again after it had been shaved.
It was really fast.
Literally, fast-growing hair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I thought that the Quest Bible did a pretty good job of really summing up as to why Samson probably did what he did. And I think there's a lesson there too for us, because I think if we're not careful, we can act in these same ways. Correct. So let me just read this to you. It says, it seems Samson was influenced more by his passion than by his will. And he was often self-seeking and short-sighted, which we can see that.
Yeah.
As when he had insisted on a Philistine bride. In addition, he was often ruled by what? His rage. And his uncontrolled lust had led him to this tryst with Delilah in the first place. Blinded by his own desires, he could not readily discern God's will. I think that's it right there. Blinded by his own desires.
Yeah, that doesn't apply to us.
No, not at all, right? We are never so busy that we're so blinded by our own desires and our own passions and our own lust that we become self-seeking, short-sighted, and cannot readily discern God's will.
All
and
the
so,
above.
I mean, we make fun of Samson.
Yeah.
But if you put it in those terms, you can see exactly why it happened.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the lesson there for us too.
Yeah.
Is that when all of a sudden we start focusing on ourselves, our passions, our lust, our self-serving, short-sighted, then all that plays a role in the fact that we can't discern what God wants to happen.
Absolutely.
And so we have to be careful as Christians, otherwise we will be much like Samson.
Yeah.
Now, odds are tomorrow they're probably not going to gouge your eyes out, but at the same time, sin does have consequences.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And at some point, we still have to be obedient to the Lord. Mm-hmm. And it is kind of funny because that was like the last straw.
Yeah, he had already violated, I don't remember how many specific things there were. But there was a handful.
I mean, he slept with prostitutes. He ate the stuff out of the line when he wasn't supposed to. Definitely. I mean, the list goes on and on. I don't think he was supposed to marry a Philistine or marry outside of his...
yeah, but the hair was the final straw.
And the hair was the final straw. You know what I'm saying? God does require obedience at some point.
Yeah.
But we have to make sure that we don't let our own passions and our own lust dictate what happens in our lives. We want to make sure that we're focused on the Lord and discerning what He wants us to do. Like I said, it's a great lesson. And we can sit here and we can make fun of Samson.
Correct.
But when we put ourselves in the same position and we think about those, if we look at our own life, we can see how it's easily could have happened.
Very easy.
So put the passions and all the bad stuff away. Focus on the Lord.
Hold the line.
So you don't wind up like Samson. Okay? Now, this is not the end of the story for Samson.
Don't get your eyes gouged out.
Don't get your eyes.
Yeah, don't get your eyes guys.
The odds are low, but never zero.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
the
true.
story with Samson doesn't end here, and we're going to cover that in our next podcast. But God does.
It has quite the ending.
Yes.
It's got an ending.
It does have an ending. And God doesn't forsake Samson.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So, you guys have a great week, and tune in next time.